Good evening. Joining us tonight is Attorney Felisberto Junoy Verano. He belongs to Class 85 of the Ateneo Law School. He is a litigation lawyer, and he's here tonight joining us to give us a recap of what has happened today at the Senate Impeachment Court. Attorney Verano?
Yes, thank you. I think it is a good time to explain to people who are interested to find out what is happening in the impeachment court. We have heard already a lot of evidence coming in, and whether it is legal or not, that is a matter that will be taken up, I guess, by the impeachment court. Now, lately we've been hearing a lot about these accounts that are supposed to be attributed to Chief Justice Corona. And we also hear that a lot of people are clamoring that Chief Justice Corona should come out in the open to tell us what it is, what these accounts are all about. Now, this is very, very important for our people to understand. In any trial, the sequence is, first, the prosecution propounds and submits its evidence to the court. It will finish that, presenting all the evidence that they have to complete, supposedly, their case. The work of the defense team or the defendant is only to parry the blows or the presentation of the evidence of the prosecution. He has to wait for his time for him to be able to present his evidence to countervail or negate the evidence already presented by the prosecution. There is no way that the evidence of the defense can be brought up at this stage in this impeachment case, simply because the rules of court, which by the way is suppletory, meaning it is rules of court that is used by the impeachment court. You can understand that the impeachment court does not have a complete set of procedure and rules. Therefore, the rules of court are added on, suppletory. And according to the rules of court, it is first the prosecution that will adduce its evidence, then the defense will be given time. Right now, let us remember that there are only 2 articles that are being covered. As a matter of fact, Article 3 is not even yet fully covered or fully presented. Come to think of it, Article 2 also I don't think has been completed. So, can you imagine there are 8 articles to be heard coming from the prosecution before the evidence of the defense will be brought up. So I think the public should understand that we all have to be patient and await the time when it is proper that the defense, Chief Justice Corona, will now come out with his evidence that would put his position in a better light for us to understand. It will only be the time where he can explain the money, whatever money it is in the accounts, and whatever it is he wants to bring up. That is his right, and we just have to be patient and wait.
Are you saying, Attorney Verano, that for the moment the defense should just take all the blows given by the prosecution, and then later on they will come out with the disclosure of all this information on the Chief Justice?
Unfortunately, yes, unfortunately, because of the procedure that we have to follow, the defense, Chief Justice Corona, has no alternative but to bear the brunt of the prosecution. He has no choice. Because if he were to speak out today, first of all, it would not be proper. It would not be following the rules of court. And for that, even they can be admonished, because the impeachment court is supposedly following the rules of court.
But what if for some reason the impeachment procedures, the hearings are prematurely stopped? Will that will the defense lose their chance at giving their side in regards to the disclosure of the information of the Chief Justice?
When you say prematurely stop,
Well, for some reason, baka may mangyari, hindi matapos yung paglilitis sa kaso ng ating Chief Justice. Hindi na ngayon nabigyan ng chance na magbigay ng side ang defense on the disclosure of the accounts of the Chief Justice. Hindi ba timing lang talaga ito? Are you saying now na kailangan tapusin muna ang prosecution tapos sila naman ang defense? And why can't they answer, you know?
There was a proposal na gagawin sana for each article of impeachment. Papabayaan muna ang prosecution, pagkatapos immediately sasagutin ng defense.
Opo.
Unfortunately, hindi nila pinayagan yung mangyari. So, we have to fall back on what they agreed on initially, na kailangan tapusin muna lahat yung 8 articles of impeachment bago sumagot ang defense. Ngayon, sa sinabi mong baka matigil ang trial, impeachment trial, tingin ko dalawang bagay lang makakapigil niyan. One is legally, which means that if the Supreme Court can come in and say that this is already an illegal trial. In other words, hindi na patas ang trial, hindi na tama ang ginagawa nila, pwedeng pumasok dyan at tinatawag na mistrial ang Supreme Court. Although, having said that, I honestly think the Supreme Court will not venture to stop the impeachment court. Now, the second alternative is yung tinatawag na extrajudicial, na may mangyari na, ewan ko, kung magkakaroon ng revolusyon ng tao, o kaya makikialam ang military, extrajudicial, labas sa judicial process. Pwede mangyari yan. Depende lang kung anong mangyayari. Kung mangyari man yan, hindi talaga fair para sa kay Chief Justice Corona. Dapat pagbigyan muna siyang makapagsalita. Hindi pa naman niya oras na magsalita.
Atty. Verano, there seems to be a public sentiment that some senator jurors are now acting as senator-prosecutors. And of course, we know who they are. What should the role of a senator juror be? Because are they going over the line? I mean, sometimes they, if the prosecutor is weak in presenting evidence, here comes a senator on the rescue. So, what can you say about that?
Okay, first of all, the senator judge should appear and act as neutral as possible. Okay? In other words, they should be quite detached, meaning in their direct participation in the trial. They should just listen to what is being presented. However, they are allowed what is known as clarificatory questions. Even in trial, in the regular trial courts, the judge can ask clarificatory questions. But as it is so stated, clarificatory questions are only to clarify what the witness has said. In other words, there are only very few questions just to make him clear on his answer. But if the judge would start to cross-examine the witness, hindi na tama yun. Maling-mali na yun. Hindi dapat payagan yan. Sapagkat lumalampas na sila sa kanilang katungkulan bilang huwes, judge. Ang nangyayari, ang tawag nga sa kanila, Senator-Prosecutors.
That's right.
Because ang tanong, makikita mo naman sa tanong you can see by the way they propound their questions, it's kind of slanted and it tries to get from the witness those that the prosecutors fail to extract from the witness because of, frankly, their incompetence of how to handle a witness. What happens kasi is they have been presenting witnesses that obviously are adverse to them. Adverse means hostile witness. Ano ibig sabihin nun? itong mga witnesses na ito ay lumalabas na ang sinasabi nila ay panig doon sa kabila. Panig sa defense. Hindi kasalanan yan ng defense kung yan ay binalabas nilang witness nila. Kaya lang, mali kasi ginagawa nila. Ang nangyayari sa nakikita ko, yung senator judges ay tumatayo at nagtatanong ng mga question na para ipalabas sa witness na ito ang gusto nilang palabasin. Para pabor sa prosecutors. Yan ay maling-mali na. Ako kumikilos na sila para silang judge, hindi lang judge, kundi lumalabas na silang Senator-Prosecutors.
That's right.
Kumbaga sa basketball, mahilig tayo sa basketball, o tennis, pati yung referee, kalaban mo Di ba ang referee dapat neutral, sasabihin lang kung foul, foul. Pero may mga referees na halatang-halata mong binayaran ng kabilang team, lahat ng call nila ay pabor dun sa team na nagbayad. Yan ang nangyayari sa tingin ko na pag hindi patas ang senator judges, para ka nag-basketball, nakalaban mo rin ang mga referees.
On that note, Attorney Verano, can the defense request the presiding officer to substitute the senator-prosecutor for another senator who would show more impartiality? Sometimes they really show partiality with the prosecution. And of course, it saves the day for the prosecution who, by now we know, have come up with mediocre, first of all, the evidences are still in question. Is that possible?
Okay, ihahambing natin to sa actual trial, no?
Opo.
Sa actual trial, pagka naramdaman mo, hindi lang ramdam, pag kitang-kita mo na kalaban na yung judge, nakampi na sa kalaban mo, pwede mong i-inhibit yung judge. I'm talking about a normal trial. At kapag hindi siya mag-inhibit, pwede mong itaas pa sa Court of Appeals at hanggang sa Supreme Court. Hanggang siya ay mapa-inhibit. Ang malungkot dito sa ating impeachment court, wala daw sa rules nila na that the defense counsel can object to the questions of the senator judges. Yan na naman makikita mo na medyo tagilid ang labanan dahil pagka hindi tama ang tanong ng senator judges sa witness, hindi sila maka-object. Makikita mo ang ginagawa ni Cuevas, Justice Cuevas, Defense Counsel, nagmamanifest na lang, manifesto. Manifest your honor. Pero talagang pinapakita niya na medyo itong judge na ito ay hindi tama ang mga tanong. Ngayon, to exclude a judge, meaning paalis mo siya sa trial, ang malungkot nito ay mukhang walang procedure sa ganyan. Titiisin mo na lang na itong mga senator judges ay halatang kampi sa kabila at nagtatanong na para pabor dun sa prosecutors.